About 7 years ago, I met someone who completely changes my perspective on life. It all started when I went on a 2-day trip with one of my friends and his family. During the trip, I couldn't stop noticing about his mom, the way she carried herself, the gentleness in her words, and the thoughtfulness in her action that brought a sense of joy and peace to the people around her. And that quiet strength, it was so magnetic because at that point of my life, I felt like I already had everything that I worked so hard for. I had the good education, I had the money, and I had the opportunity to travel. And when I was in school, I got selected as one of the only 2 students in the entire country to go to the United States and to do exchange. And I also got selected to go to a town hall meeting with Barack Obama. How blessed do you have to be in order to get selected for that kind of program? I felt like I had everything that I ever wanted, but something was missing. I didn't have the joy and the peace that I saw in that auntie. I remember asking her so many questions because I wanted to understand her life. I wanted to understand her perspective, what made her the person she was. Because for me, at that point of my life, everyone around me was always constantly chasing for something more. And this auntie, she's like so different. And it made me wonder, how can someone be so content in a world where everyone is chasing for more? And that was when she told me about the love of God, that our self-worth, our worth doesn't depend on our accomplishment, and we are loved unconditionally by God. So even when life is difficult or challenging, we can have that assurance, joy, and inner peace because we know that we are loved unconditionally by God. So that conversation stayed with me, and over time we became close friends. And I felt like today the people that I admire the most are not necessarily the people with the most money or the most impressive titles or the people who are the most famous. I admire people who are genuine, the people who bring peace and joy to the room, the people who have quiet confidence because they know their worth. I admire the people whose kindness doesn't depend on what they can benefit from someone. I admire people with character and integrity. I do believe that there is nothing wrong with going after your dreams and goals and being ambitious and wanting to make more money. But I also believe that while you are building your life, it is so important to build your heart as well. Cultivate the joy and the inner peace that doesn't disappear when the circumstances change. And appreciate and be grateful for what we already have, the blessing around us, and the people who love us.